So when you look at what the other two schools in the state are doing, so there's a difference between them ranking wherever they rank and Florida State ranking wherever they rank, and there being not a whole lot of connection between those classes. But there's a difference between they rank where they rank and there was 5 or 10 players in each class that could have gone to Florida, could have gone to Miami, could have gone to Florida State. Were there a lot of misses that shouldn't have been misses that went in state?
I mean, you had Andy Jean here as wide receiver. This wasn't a major whiff, though. I mean, this was kind of late anyways in the recruitment. He sticks with Florida. You're looking at your wide receiver room now, you're gonna be just fine. You'll be just fine. That was just kind of an addition that you could add to the talent. Florida State's wide receiver room is going to be fine, definitely, at least with the initial class that's coming in with Tribe 23, man. I don't know if you've been able to see him, James, but Venjavius as Jacobs is
nice.
Nice talent. Very, very nice talent. Doesn't get talked about enough. Glad FSU was able to hold on to him. Really high character kid too, but the coaching staff couldn't stop talking about him today during the press conference. And you've already got Hakeem Williams too, but either you can call it a whiff or not. I don't think any FSU fan would though with Andy Jean. I think that was Jay. Let's come test the waters here. Let's see what's going on with the staff here at FSU. If there's anything there, yeah, maybe we'll definitely hear him out and stuff. But he ends up sticking with Billy Napier and wants to, you can get a field goal. What is that, field goal? Got the field goal, so you keep that no scoring streak alive, keep that going at least. But you can look at that and be like, dang, who's gonna be throwing to me? But there's a lot of things too. A lot of things. I mean, look at Mario Cristobal. He's over here on Hakeem Williams' line, calling him nonstop the last 48 hours. He's calling him as early as like 5 a.m., wondering what the heck's going on. Hey, Hakeem, let's try to flip you. We got all the NIL. But at some point, guys are loyal. And it's rare to see nowadays Hakeem Williams is a different kind of breed. We've learned that. But loyalty was huge for Hakeem. And he told everybody that after the ceremony that, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And you just don't see that as much anymore. But Florida State was able to kick away Miami there. And Hakeem, too, I don't think he was a guy that wanted to stay in that area. He wanted to get out, and it just ended up being that Florida State would be the right spot. And you could have gone, Jimbo Fisher trying to make a run there, too. But you're going all the way over to College Station, and you honestly just saw what kind of season they had with all the talent that they had, all the talent that they have on that field. It's absolutely ridiculous how much talent they have and how, I can't say a bad word on here, but how god-awful they played this year. It just kind of shows, it's gonna go in waves. Guys are going to be attracted to the NIL situations, and then some guys are going to be attracted to what's actually going on the field. And I think Mike Norvell and them, they're realizing, this year they had to make improvements. They had to do this because if you're going to hold on to that 2024 class, looks really nice right now on paper. If you're able to keep them, that's a pivotal moving point if Florida State is able to go make a run here at another 10-win season in 2023, move forward competing for the ACC championship. That puts you on, I think that puts you on a 3 or 4 year run where Florida State is got some really nice talent on their roster able to work with. So these next 2 years are gigantic with what Florida State wants to do to finish off the 2024 to 2029, in my opinion. And it's going to come down to how they perform this next season, in my opinion. But right now, Florida and Miami, they're just a lot of it relying on NIL. And you've got Billy Napier, who at some point had a really nice class, and now can't close. And it's been the way for Florida State too in some regards. But
I think the other thing too is a lot of this will change eventually because you're gonna have to have APR. APR's got to come back. And once APR comes back, you can't just have guys leaving and not be accountable for their degrees. But until that happens, you basically can flip your roster every year if you want to. But Miami's probably, I think when it's all said and done, we'll have 40 to 45 different players between seniors and attrition. And Florida probably similar to that. You can't lose half your roster even if you're trying to go into a situation where you're trying to build it back. Florida State is in a situation that's a little bit closer to like a NFL team that's trying to make a splash of free agency because they're close. The window is now. And when you look at where the ACC is, you look at their schedule next year, you look at how the offense performed in with a harder schedule, you look at who's coming back. If you're able to capture that lightning in a bottle, you're going to be in a situation where now you can kind of afford it, but it's still unacceptable because eventually you're going to have the guys who you can build in, and development is development. I have this argument with people. If they're not going after, they have a couple one and dones, but most of these guys have 2 and 3 years left to play. So if you're a freshman, you come in and you don't really contribute much. Your year one is a wash anyway. You're really giving 2 to 3 years. If you're an NFL prospect, you're only in college for 3 years for the most part, or performing for 3 years. So you're giving 2 to 3 years of quality development. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what he's bringing in, a bunch of guys who have multiple years who can give you something. So I think that is what makes this a little bit different. And I really think with this class and a lot of kids that they're bringing in, NIL isn't as big as what people think. They want to go to the NFL, and they just want to make sure that they're not losing opportunities to participate in the NIL as much as, they care about how much money they get. So I think that was what Hakeem's saying. I think that made him a special prospect in my eyes as well.